Good afternoon. Welcome to Harlem Lofts 2021 third quarter condominium market report. We have separated the Townhouse and market report to target a more defined audience. So here we have it. The print version of this report is going to come out next Wednesday, the 27th. So stay tuned. Look behind us at the prompts and it'll tell you how to download that copy. So today you have Robb. I'm the founder of Harlem Lofts and Director of Research.
Gareth John, hello.
Hello. Gareth's put a lot of work into this. Is going to have a whole lot of numbers. I'll get to that later. I want to remind everyone that we separate our graphs and charts by zip code. The zip codes are going to go from south to north, right. And on the
south on the left and north on the right.
Yeah. So when you look at these, know that if you're traveling up Manhattan, you'll see the graphs will grow or shrink according to location. All right. So Gareth, let's get into the numbers.
Okay. Sounds great. Okay, thank you, Rob. Okay, folks, let's cut to the chase. The good news is that the Upper Manhattan condominium market is absolutely on fire. That's been driven both demand and supply. So there's pent-up demand and the supply that can feed through that demand. So our first slide here shows the condominium inventory over time in Upper Manhattan from mid-2020 through to August, September 2021. That's the most recent data that we had. So following a pandemic or recession, inventory is usually the first marker of a recovery. So supply comes first. Demand follows supply. The condo listings in Upper Manhattan recovered post-COVID, but overshot to beyond where they usually are, reaching 440 listings in October 2020. That's really, really high. That then decreased to 350 in February as sales started to take off, but now, but it was back up to 404 in June. It's 381 in the most recent data. So supply has been there. What we've seen is that supply has been followed by sales. So compared to quarter 1 to 3 2020, in the middle of the COVID situation, we've seen 300 fair market value sales compared to just 146 in the same period last year. That's a 105.5% increase, nice. Which is unprecedented. We've seen $281.6 million spent versus just $129.2 million the same period last year. So that's a 118% increase. Going further back, in quarter 1 2020, just prior to COVID, we saw 71 sales. Very similar to quarter 1 2019, going back even further, 69 sales. So the market was kind of proceeding, and then it got hit hard by COVID. The condo market is higher volume, lower price than the townhouse market, so the market fluctuates more and it fluctuates faster. Quarters 2 and 3 2020, we saw just 75 sales, which is 51% down on 2019 when we saw 155 sales. There was recovery in quarter 4 2020 when we saw 66 sales, which was similar to quarter 4 2019, 69 sales. So the market got hit hard, recovered reasonably quickly. Quarter 1 to 3 2021, when, as I mentioned, we saw 300 sales. That has overshot or surpassed quarter 1 to 3 2019 when we saw 224 sales. So the market's roared back. It's roared back beyond its 2019 levels, and we're kind of looking at a market that really is on fire.
We had the highest inventory, you said in November. Mm-hmm. That's the highest I've ever seen. It was right. 4 something, right? 420, yep. I think. We've been doing this for 10 years. This is the highest number of sales in one period.
If we look in more detail by quarter, so let's break it down in detail. As said, quarter 1 2020, we saw 71 sales. Very similar to quarter 1 2019, 69 sales. Quarters 2 and 3 2020, just 75 sales. That was about 50% down on quarters 2 and 3 2019 when we saw 155 sales. If we go to the recovery in quarter 4 2020, when we saw 66 sales, very similar to quarter 4 2019, 69 sales. But let's get to the real important point here. Quarters 1 to 3, 2021, 300 sales. It's over 100% higher than 2020, and it's significantly higher as well than quarter 1 to 3, 2019, when we saw just 200, or we saw 224 sales, which was normal. So 300 versus 224, which is about the norm.
That's normal, yeah.
Yep. That could suggest to you that prices have changed, but actually they haven't yet. During COVID, the situation affected the number of sales, but not the sales price. If we look at this graph, we've got the average prices. You can see that prices haven't really haven't really changed. We have 845 in 2018, 921 in 2019, 885 in 2020, and 939 in 2021 so far. We predicted and we expected the market to bounce back. We didn't expect it to bounce back quite this much. Would you think prices may rise?
I think so. So the inventory right now is a lot of there's a lot of inventory because there were some delays during COVID,
Right.
both construction and then smart condo developers that waited for things to pick back up before they launch. So there's a lot of inventory out right now, and the pent-up demand, like you said, is eating up that inventory. But that inventory is going to disappear, and I think the pent-up demand and the people coming back to the city is going to continue. So if we had to guess, we make predictions now. I used to stay away from that. The condo market will turn into a seller's market. It is actually turning into one right now.
Right.
And we're in what, October?
Yeah. Okay. So finally, let's look at transactions by zip code. Unlike townhouse sales in Upper Manhattan, condo sales are concentrated in the lower zip code. So 10029, 10026, and 10027. That pattern didn't really change during COVID.
There's a reason though. The condo market is where the developers have the land.
Right.
So the land that was purchased back 5, 6 years ago, 4 years ago was in zip codes 2627, and
Right.
those properties have been developed. You will see that change. Unlike the townhouse market, the condo market is going to change as
Right.
the land gets purchased
Right. And
further up north.
That's right, Rob. And
Yeah.
I think it's possible we're seeing the beginnings of that
You are.
now, because if you look at the right-hand graph, there is an asterisk over 10030. Sales in that zip code have increased significantly since 2019. It could be that that's going to be the next big condo sales zip code. Only time will tell if that trend continues. Okay, so to summarize, I'm going to hand over to Rob.
So in summary, you guys, you saw a healthy market throughout the COVID period. You saw the supply come back. You saw the demand come back. You see record number of sales right now at prices that match 2019 before the pandemic. Look, we follow this stuff daily. We're here at 6:30 every morning. This is what we do. We put a lot of energy into pricing, but it's very important that the pricing of these units not only helps price a unit for a seller, but it helps us educate a buyer on what they're purchasing and what the value they're getting for their dollar. So if you are considering listing your property or buying a condominium, consider Harlem Lofts. We've been up here for 20 years doing these reports. We take it very seriously, as you can tell. Please like us and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Look back at our predictions and watch. They've all come true. And, we'd love to help you. So thank you for taking the time to watch this report. Catch us on our market updates monthly. And we do these quarterly. And we have a big yearly seminar with wine and cheese. We can do that again. So we'll see you hopefully in January for that.
Okay.
Thank you, Gareth. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.